Top stories tonight. INEC concludes supplementary elections in 24 states. Experts proffer remedies for building collapse in Nigeria. Plus, Army promises qualitative training and professionalism in tackling security challenges. Good evening, and thank you for joining us on NTA Abeokuta Channel 12 News. My name is Anyala Balogo. Now the news in detail. Supplementary elections conducted in 24 states were adjudged to be peaceful and in most cases started early. Timothy Yusuf monitored the exercise and reports.
The saying that it is not yet over until it is finally over is the scenario that played out across 24 states in the country. Supplementary governorship elections in Adamawa and Kebbi states, 5 senatorial districts, 31 federal constituencies, and 58 state assembly constituencies. For the second time, after the February 25 and March 18, 2023 polls, the electorate came out to decide the fate of the affected states, where elections were declared inconclusive.
Prior to today, the supplementary elections was announced that it would be holding on the 15th of April, and the state office here has been prepared. And today there are 2 constituencies that are affected. One is a state constituency, which is Ogwea 2, which has 4 wards and 94 polling units, and of course Satan Ijo federal constituencies, which about 6 wards are affected with 32 polling units.
We have enough securities on ground to avoid the reoccurrence of what happened during the first election.
While the electoral umpire INEC has already restated commitment to a credible election, the electorate expressed satisfaction with the outcome of the polls.
A lot of people have come out to exercise their franchise, and everybody is going about the election peacefully. There is no any issue of violence.
Matsara da an ka kawo sun yi tsakanin da Allah an yi aiki ba a samu confusion din komi ba.
Results of the elections are expected to be announced and declared by INEC soon. Timothy Yusuf, NTA News.
An impressive turnout of voters characterized the supplementary election in polling units 04, Ward 1, Ifo Constituency 1 in Ifo local government area of Ogun State. We'll bring you details of that report in a subsequent bulletin. Voters in Abeokuta have commended the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, and security agencies for doing the needful to ensure a successful supplementary election. Tayo Osho reports that the exercise, held in 3 polling units in Idosi Constituency 1, was monitored by the Ekiti State Resident Electoral Commissioner and the Police Commissioner.
The supplementary election was as a result of cancellation of the March 18 election in the 3 polling units, which disrupted the emergence of a winner for Idosi Constituency 1 in the Ekiti State House of Assembly. NTA's visit to the 3 polling units in Ido-Ekiti reveals that election officials and materials arrived early, while the bimodal voter accreditation system also functioned optimally. Some voters who applauded the process also commended the deployment of adequate security for the exercise to avoid a repeat of what led to the cancellation.
No problem, no fights, everything is okay, nobody fights, police, soldier, no fight, no quarrel.
The resident electoral commissioner Ekiti State, Professor Ayobami Salami, who monitored the exercise, expressed satisfaction with the process and assured the people of Ekiti State that the outcome of the supplementary election will be acceptable to all, while the Commissioner of Police, Ekiti State, Dare Ogundare, also expressed confidence in the security arrangements for the exercise.
I'm very satisfied with the turnout. The turnout is very encouraging, and people are cooperating with the INEC officials, and the security agencies are doing their job excellently well.
We have deployed enough security to cover this exercise, and it's our belief that it will go smoothly and all of us will be happy about it.
Security operatives were strategically positioned within the town and around the polling units to ensure law and order. As at the time of filing this report, people of Ekiti State are awaiting the final declaration of the winner for Idosi Constituency 1 for the 7th Assembly of Ekiti State House of Assembly in Ado-Ekiti. Tayo Osho, NTA News.
Meanwhile, Usman Ahmed Ododo, former Auditor General for Local Government in Kogi State, has won the state APC governorship primary election. Correspondent Solomon Ayedei reports that this was ratified at the party's convention in Abuja.
Ahmed Usman Ododo is hereby and heretofore returned as the duly elected governorship candidate of the APC for the November 2023 governorship elections.
That was the secretary of the 7-man Kogi APC governorship primary election committee, Patrick Obayagon, at the Election Collation Center in Lokoja, the Kogi state capital. 17 aspirants declared intent for the governorship primary election, out of which 7 participated in the election carried out in 239 wards across the 21 local government areas of the state. At the party's election result ratification convention attended by critical stakeholders of the party in Lokoja, it was a resounding acceptance of the party's standard bearer by the special delegates.
With your support, our great party, APC, will be victorious in the next governorship election, and we shall consolidate on the gains of the new direction agenda in the state.
Amen. Governor Yahaya Bello, while congratulating party faithful for the rank-of-free primaries, egged them to shun sentiments and work assiduously for the success of the party at the November polls. He assured that the party's governorship candidate will not betray the trust reposed on him.
We will give him the maximum support to succeed, and God Almighty will stamp that support.
He also charged the APC supporters to preach and continue to build on the existing peace in the state for the benefit of all. Kogi State governorship election is slated for November this year. In Lokoja, Solomon Ayedehi, NTA News.
The Nigerian Army is promising proficiency, skill enhancement and qualitative training of personnel to attain high level of professionalism and global best practices in the face of current security challenges in the country. The General Officer commanding 81 Division, Nigerian Army, Major General Omar Musa, stated this at the closing ceremony of the 2023 Inter-Brigade Combat and Below Proficiency Competitions held at the training ground of the 35 Artillery Brigade, Alamala, Abeokuta. Sheyu Gumayor's report is there presented.
It was a rigorous and competitive process for 240 officers of the 4 brigades of the 81 Division Nigerian Army, including 81 Division Garrison, 9 Brigade, 45 Artillery Brigade, and the host 35 Artillery Brigade, as they participated in proficiency enhancing competitions such as swimming, weapon handling, map reading and navigation, shoot and obstacle crossing. 81 Division Garrison, having scored a total of 460 points, were declared the overall winner of the competition, while 35 Artillery Brigade with 440 points became first runner-up and 9 Brigades second runner-up. Addressing the participants, the General Officer commanding 81 Division Nigerian Army, Major General Obina Ajunwa, representative says the competition has achieved its purpose, which is to improve strength, confidence and combat readiness of the officers to face any security challenge.
I believe that the competition has fostered the esprit de corps which we all desire to achieve. I want you to know that we all continue to train to meet the Chief of Army Staff's vision, which is to have a professional Nigerian army ready to accomplish missions within a joint environment in defense of Nigeria.
The brigade commander, 35 Artillery Brigade Alamala Mohammed Tajuddin Aminu, urged the winners to build on the achievements attained in the competition.
This competition is an annual event, actually, that is being reflected in Nigerian Army focus of event, and it is being conducted by all formations. The aim is to assess the physical fitness for our soldiers to ensure that they are fit to carry out any assigned mission.
Highlights of the event include the presentation of individual prizes, awards of recognition to umpires, and many others.
Checking the menace of land grabbing and racketeering is fundamental to curbing the increase in cases of building collapse in Nigeria. Professionals in real estate development are therefore opening doors of partnership with federal government and relevant agencies to create a sane engineering environment devoid of quacks. Kelvin Ebonoye reports.
Nigeria has been battling cases of building collapse, exposing the inadequacy in the engineering profession. Various government agencies and professional bodies have blamed this challenge on substandard materials and engagement of non-professionals in construction services. For real estate developers, governments must make efforts to bring sanity to the process of land acquisition, as land grabbers are more involved in engaging quacks in attempt to cover up their dirty deeds.
If you are registered, you must have that seal, and you must affix that seal in all your transactions documents, because it has a mercury number in that seal, and we will easily identify who is that person, who is that company. That is one. We have an endorsement committee. Anything you are going to do, we have an endorsement committee which comprises of the professionals in the built industry and also our members.
As soon as we see people being held responsible, being punished for whether it's the landlord, whether it's the person who is building, where he calls himself a developer, even though he's not he could be a developer but not a member of REDA, whether it's the professionals, the designer who did the drawing, and the drawing is deficient, or the regulatory bodies, government regulatory bodies that are not doing their work by monitoring and supervising the project.
They also want government to develop a mechanism for all professional bodies in engineering and estate development to be involved in the construction of high-rise buildings anywhere in the country to check building collapse. Kelvin Ebonoye, NTA News.
The National Senior Citizens Center and the National Board for Technical Education is to sign Memorandum of Understanding to develop qualification and standardization benchmark of training of caregivers for older persons in Nigeria. This was the thrust of the visit of the Director General of the NSCC to the board in Abuja. Austin Anyebe reports.
The population of older persons in Nigeria is rising as it currently stands at 14.8 million and is projected to increase to 30 million by 2050. The concern of the National Senior Citizen Center therefore is to step up efforts geared towards enhancing the capacity of caregivers to rise up to the challenges faced by older persons.
Willing to go with us, and what mechanisms, procedures, policies, strategies they already have that we can leverage on and move as fast as we want to.
While acknowledging that older persons are currently enjoying relative care in the area of healthcare delivery, she said little or no attention is paid to social care by trained care providers.
We are here to deepen that partnership because they have the technical mechanisms and processes that we need. So now we are agreeing to develop a memorandum of understanding to identify parties' obligations.
The center received assurance from the National Board for Technical Education on partnership to ensure older persons have the best treatment for all-round development.
We are coming to put up standardization, certification, assessment, and training for the skills to the skills care sector for the senior citizens.
Research showed that urbanization, migration, conflict and other non-cultural factors have increased the care burden for older persons in many homes in Nigeria. In Abuja, Austin Anyebe, NTA News.
The bodies of 3 hit-and-run accident victims have been evacuated by the Federal Road Safety Corps, Ogun State Sector Command at Okemoson along Abeokuta-Shagamu Expressway. In a statement by Public Education Officer, FRC, Ogun Sector Command, Florence Okpe, the victims were a motorcycle rider and 2 passengers found lying down lifeless in the pool of their blood, having been hit by an unknown vehicle before FRC rescue team arrived at the scene. The FRC team thereafter rushed the victims to the Federal Medical Center, NTA Abeokuta, where they were confirmed dead by the medical doctors on duty. Mrs. Okwe noted that the family of the victims were contacted immediately and their bodies handed over to them for burial. She added that the sector commander, Ahmed Umar, condemned the action of the hit-and-run driver, noting that if the victim had been taken to the hospital on time for medical attention, their lives would have been saved. The sector commander advised motorists to always consider all the road users drive within the maximum speed limit and obey all traffic rules and regulations. And that concludes the news at 7. I'm Ayala Balogo. Good evening. For long-lasting quality, beauty, and value to your property, think Seiko Paints. Seiko Paints. For more than 20 years, we paint the gateway city and cities beyond. Our products are available in retail and wholesale outlets throughout Nigeria. For further information, call the Chief Executive Officer, Managing Director, Seiko Paints Limited on 0803 674 9618 or 0803 725 5170. You can also reach us at 23 Olufemi Ajayi Street, Ifako Ijayi, Lagos, Nigeria.